All right, cool. Now you can see it. So we're working on this again. It's part 2 of how to destroy a city. We got a lot done last week. If you were here last week, we had an awesome stream. We went from black and white line art to this. So I was really happy with that. We're gonna polish it up now. We've gotten to the point where we need to color Roz. So we're gonna go ahead and color her so we can see. I think that's going to kind of give us an idea of like how her lighting's going to be, if the lighting that we've got going on in the city is working or not working. We're going to continue to add more photo bashing. Hey Kuda, thanks for joining me. We're going to add more smoke, possibly add more fire, and we're definitely going to add more texture, especially on these buildings like here, this big one back here. I might wait to get a new image for this one because I used this one for like every skyscraper, and since this one's a focal point, I might want to change it up just a little bit. This worked out really well. All the flames and stuff worked out really well. So we're just going to try to evaluate what we have, maybe control it, tone it down a little bit if it's got too much going on. There was a lot of fire right here. I just removed that off camera, but it needs to have something, so I think I'm going to replace it with some smoke maybe. I like the lighting that it gave there, but it doesn't need to be literally exploding like halfway down this alley that she's about to walk down. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'll let this ad resume so I can keep listening to music. And as always, if y'all have any questions, feel free to throw those down into the chat, and that'll help guide what y'all want to hear about as I explain my process. So we're gonna put a little more smoke back in here. Since I just did that, I'm gonna kind of resume working there. And a mixture of like light and dark colors for the smoke, and then that'll kind of, it does a lot of blending on its own. The like rough wash watercolor brush, that's a stock Clip Studio paintbrush, but you do have to kind of mix up the colors. It'll tend to like muddy everything out if you don't. And I want more direction in this, so I'm gonna kind of guide it out here a little more. I really like the flecks of this like light colored smoke, so try to put a little more of that in here. Even back over here. And this textured blender is my favorite for kind of fizzling it out if it's too well defined. It's a good way to like tone down some of these explosion stuff. Got to get on the right layer though. There we go. Okay. Cool. I like that. I'm gonna save this real quick, and this is where we'll start. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. Lurking is always welcome, but if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down and I can explain what I'm doing. We're gonna work on flats next. So I opened up a page that we colored a few weeks ago. We can just steal some colors here, and we'll use that as a starting point. We'll see if it works. I always recommend coloring in the context of your background. Never color it on a pure white canvas. You'll never get your lighting right. It's going to be very, very difficult for you to see properly. So let me change this. So I'm just going to kind of throw some down here, and then we can throw this on, and you know what? I'll just, okay, never mind. Okay, so the problem is this background layer. Okay, let me try this. There we go. I just had my settings wrong. So this refer other layers is what you want, and Clip Studio Paint will automatically paint inside your lines for you. So we're just gonna, sorry, there's a line missing here. If there's any kind of gap in the line art, it will not function right. So make sure you have all your lines closed off. So we're just gonna basically color in all the skin areas real quick with this, and then we'll hide that and put it back in the background and see. Oh, I bet I colored on that layer, didn't I? Wow. There we go. It's kind of hard to tell because she's being so backlit. But if these colors work in the shadows, that's what we're looking for, because we're about to add in the highlights on the edges. So I think this will work for now. Let's go with about the same, but a little bit darker, cooler for her tights, and we'll see if that works. I don't think that's gonna work. It's too bright. It's not bad, but I think it needs to be darker. I was gonna say, here's the problem. If it's too dark to begin with, if the color's too similar to the color you're painting with, that function will get confused. I think I like that. Alright, what color are her shoes? Let's pull up our character design of Roz. I think they were like a purple and pink. Where is Roz's character design? There we go. Oh, thanks, Kuda. I like having you come here. Alright, so it's kind of a purpley, I think it's the same color as her jacket. So we'll start with this color with the assumption that it's going to have to be darker. So let's just use that same saturation and bump it down. It's not as dark as her tights because those are black. Which it's not, so that's good. And we'll see what that looks like. I like it. Let's get these little areas that it missed. That is a zipper. Let's see. I think we're just going to do it like a lighter color. I think that's what I usually did for zippers and stuff. And the treads are pretty much black, so we'll use that same color. We didn't have a solid enough barrier here, so let's see. I have to just, you know what I can do? I bet I can do. Nope. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to our lines. Let's find out where the leak is. I think it's right here. We can clean that up too while we're in here. All right, cool. Try one more time. Nope. All right, try again with the lighter color. Okay, I'm not sure what it's doing, but this is a small area, so we can just paint it in. Shannon was on here last week with me. Shannon thrifted the pre-gamers, and she was suggesting that every time I break something, like trying to fill that, it fills the whole screen. One of my emotes should be broke it. Let me know what you guys think about that. Also, if you're not following me, I only need 5 more to reach affiliate, so if you would consider following me, that would be awesome. Alright, she's got this kind of color, which is like the base for her skirt, so I'm going to assume this needs to be way darker. More dark. That looks about right. And I can either shade this with actually, we're already in shadows, so I'll just go ahead and color this. Normally those are shadowed areas, and you can either color them directly shadowed or make the shading on a shadow layer, but we're already in shadow. Everything's shadow, so we'll just go ahead and color them like everything else. Alright, so if that color works for that, then we're going to do it for her shoes as well, which have a design something like a U. I want to say her helmet is the same color as her like skirt and all that. So we're gonna sift through chapter 1 real quick and confirm that. Yeah. That is not the pink color. That is. Insert these little straps. Nope. And we got a little skin here. Or is that a... Yeah, it's our jacket actually. Which is the color of those shoes here. That looks wrong, but that's right. See? And it's proving my theory. Some color might look wrong on top of a background, but if that background is not your final background, it's irrelevant. Which line is this? There we go. Let's get rid of that. It's crossing over her here. There we go. Got a It's there. Going on top of there. That's good. All right, her hair. Now we can take this probably from this scene here and we'll see if it works. All right, we'll take a look at this real quick and see if all these colors work together. I think this might be a little too saturated. We're gonna calm the jacket down a little bit. Like that. Broke it. Didn't learn from my mistakes, broke it again. Alright, so this is the, let's finish our helmet here. Got a little piece there, and this is the inside. We'll go ahead and paint this pink. And inside, probably do something very close to black. This is metal. And it's going to be shining in this light, so... Oh, okay, you don't like that, do you? Just kidding. I think this needs to be darker anyway back here. Since we can't fill it in automatically, we might as well show the background so that we can understand the lighting properly. We could see some holes in our coloring here. That's good. I'm liking that. All right. So we've got Roz's flats down. We should probably do the motorcycle, and then we'll have all the flats and we can work on highlights. So her motorcycle. I think I have colors here. All right, so these are the colors in bright light. Bring up this again because I can take a shortcut here, and this is also a different light. That's probably not worth doing because that light is different too. So let's start here, and then we'll make it way darker. We'll see how that works. Oh, hello. Our motorcycle lines must be somewhere else. Yep, there they are. Alright, let's get these up on top. So we're gonna put these lines on top of everything else because they're in the foreground for us. Something else come along with that? I don't think so. Darker still. I like that. Alright, how much of this is pink? Most of it. Oh, never try to use the fill tool with a textured background because it's not gonna select everything properly. Oh, I think that part is actually this other purple color. Yeah, this trim color here. This be way darker. Alright, let's check that out. I'd still like to see that a little bit darker. That looks good. That looks cool too. Alright, we got some chrome. We got some like red. Let's see. Got to see what changed since the character drawing. This is black, so I'm gonna make that pretty close to black. These little engine coils here. Uh-oh. We've got some overlapping lines here. Let's get rid of those. Boop, boop. That's the vector eraser, and I love it. Anytime you have an intersecting line on a vector layer, you can just erase it really easily. Oh, that's not pink though. That's this chromish color. So let's define that. It's also this trim here. Probably a little darker. Probably the same color as this, if that works. Let's see a little bit more. That's good. Like that. All right. So that's there. This whole thing. So this color's too close to the other one. So again, we got to do it manual. Let's see if that works. Like that. All right, so we'll do that for, hopefully this will work. Nice. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. So this is that trim. Okay, so that's not visible there. So it is this purpley color for that too. This is good. All right. Mirror there. Light 3 there. Pretty sure these are those two. We'll do this here. Okay. All right. The taillights still have a color when they're off? I think so. It's really dark. We're going to darken some of these recesses here just to give this a little depth. And nope, broke it. Actually, it's kind of cool how it blew out everything. But that's not what we want right now. Oh, again, never learn. See, no, that's kind of cool. But not what we want. Not what we want. Are these green? Okay, I was actually doing something crazy with this. Let's see if I can still select these lines. Yeah, it doesn't like me doing that. All right, cool. We got a little sliver here. There we go. This didn't get colored. There we go. Cool. For real, did I just do all that on that layer? I usually lock those layers. I need to remember to do that. Oh no, this is gonna be hard. Okay. We're gonna have to go in here manually because I messed up my chance to make it automatic. Alright guys, we're almost done. We're ready for some highlights, and we'll get back to photobashing. Alright, cool. So we've got that. This, gotta do a reflection here. I don't even know if I want to bother with doing anything crazy. Alright, now it's time for some highlights. So this is fun. I enjoy doing this. So there's two ways we could do it. We could do it the easy way, which let's try to do it the easy way. Save time. So the easy way is you set this to screen, and then you find like a generic color you could play with, you know, whether it's warm or cool. Shadows are typically cool. Highlights are typically warmer, like in sunlight. That can all change based on your lighting environment. Alright, let's see, how can we clip this to the layer below? That means we cannot color outside the lines of that layer. So we can do all kinds of stuff like that, which is great. And we're gonna see if we can find a color that will work in as a highlight in all of her areas. Ooh, I kind of like that blending mode better. It's interacting more with the different colors and giving us different tones based on what it's on, which is kind of what I want. Yeah, it looks awesome. I might start using color dodge instead of screen for that. Turn it like it's a little harsh on her legs. I might use this for everything but her skin, because I really like how it's working on like the skirt, the jacket, the hair, everything. But it just makes her skin look really yellow, and I don't like that, so let's get rid of all of those lines. We still want this on color dodge, we like that. Alright, and let's draw them in. So, any place that the light is on the other side of, we're going to do, and then we're going to do a little bit more too to give it some three-dimensionality. Like right here, technically the light would be wrapping around and hitting this strand. If you only do like the pure outline, it makes it look really flat, like a two-dimensional object. And hair is 3D and the body is 3D, so you want to make sure that you are keeping that illusion with your shading. Hair is still very much like an area that I'm learning, but I've learned a lot between chapter 1 and 2, so I'm really happy how my hair drawing and coloring has been coming in this chapter. This would have a little bit of a back to it, so I want to make sure that it's not all colored. Same, I want the darkness of this hair to overlap here. I don't know what that is that I'm not getting. Yeah, that's where I didn't color it in. So let's grab that. Same with like here and here. You don't want any of those leaks to come through because they stick out like a sore thumb. Even if it's not the right color that you're coloring it with, at least it's closer than the background linking in. Yeah, just gotta look out for those little leaks of your coloring too. Cool. All right. Oop. All right. Where were we? Select that again. Back to color dodge. These little flecks here really help. So that's too far, I think, but all right. Alright, so slight wrapping around both sides. We have to make sure not to make this like flat too. Really want to do like a soft light here. It's gonna work. I want to select just this area here easily. See if I can, there we go. All right, let's try this out. I do mostly cell shading, but sometimes I like to mix in a little bit of other stuff. If that doesn't look too unnatural. We'll see how that works. If we like it, we'll keep it. If not, we don't have to. All right, we're not doing her skin, remember, because we don't like how that looks. We will do this helmet here. Hey, Rush fan! Lurking since the start of the stream and enjoying this apocalyptic Unix field disaster unfolding before me. Keep up the good work, sir, and best of luck getting those 5 remaining followers. Hopefully you can get them by the next week or so. I hope so, too. And thanks for hanging out, Rush fan. Always appreciate having you here. Oh, we're not doing this again. Let's try the bottom of this, see if we would get light down there. Does that look right? Yeah, I think so. Alright, now, just want a little bit there, just to give some 3-dimensionality. Alright, we can really exploit the 3-dimensionality here. Because we've got these different flaps of the skirt. So we can add a little on each. That's already looking good. Erase where it overlaps because that's not looking good. So just do a little bit on each one and a little bit less on each one as it recedes away from the light. Yep. No, too much. What is this? This is our skirt? Color. Alright. And let's do this one too. Oh. Okay, yeah, liking it. Save real quick, set a checkpoint for ourselves, and we'll move on to the tights. Time are we at? Golly, we spent too long on this. I want to start photobashing with you guys. All right. The light would catch on the zipper there, so we'll put that in highlight. Likely it would be both sides of the lake, I think. It's a little bit going past there. I don't know if anything would catch there. It might. It might. Don't let that taper off because we will continue with a different color. That's good. I'm liking that. And your highlights and shadows can really like accentuate your shapes too. So if you've got like a curved shape, you better make sure that shadow is just as curved. So I want to make sure that I don't like flatten out her legs by not making these as curved as they should be. Let's get rid of this where we overlapped. Now let's do a highlight layer for the skin. So this is where we will not use our blending mode method, and we're just going to pick the color that looks best. And I'm just going to go over here and grab this one as a starting point, and let's see how that looks. Let's see. We can't do our snap to bottom layer, but that's okay because this is a small area. All right, I want that brighter. It's a bright light, so it's going to be like almost her like natural skin color, but a little bit redder. I think that could work. Let's try that out. And actually, like, this would probably taper off because at some point the light's not penetrating over here. It's casting an invisible shadow here, so we'll have that. Or invisible imaginary. Make sure these match up well. Cool. Liking it, liking it. You know, I could use that same layer, but just change the color. So, pro tip, do that next time. Self. Learn how to do this one of these days. Yeah, that's what I would do next time. Just pick a better color for that part of it, but use the same layer. That way I could do the preferred bottom layer, so I could easily paint outside, not paint outside the lines. That's looking good. Looking good. Whoa. I don't know what shortcut that was, but apparently there's one for zoom in all the way. Cool. All right, well, I'm liking that. That looks good. I'm kind of wanting the lines bigger. Now I want to throw down a shadow on the ground. See, this stuff is helping you see other things. But let's highlight the motorcycle first. I'm going to go ahead and put in the glass. Let's move the motorcycle lines to the very top and put the glass just under them. That way, this is going to obscure these lines and Roz's hand lines. See if we can select that. Oh, boom. Love it. All right, so what we're going to do, this is going to be like a hello. Let's make it darker. What if we should multiply it? That's kind of like a tinted window. Yeah, I like that. And I might do like a gradient. I like to do those on glass. We'll do it that way, but make it orange because that's the light that would be reflecting there. Take the opacity down a bit. Cool, yeah. Maybe a bit more. I like that. Now what's going on here? I think we've got a straight line. Bingo. Cool, liking that. All right. Let me do the same thing with that. All right. I like how the soft light turned on her thing there. That looks good. All right. Let's highlight the motorcycle. Bet we can use the same layer. We'll do our pro tip from last time. We'll find the right color for this. Our guess is going to be something like orangey and bright. That's pretty close to the actual color of the bike in bright lights, so that's good. What's this line here? We got a see that finger line? There it is. Let's get rid of that. And now we've got this color is wrong, but let me, so I don't forget this color. Let's drop it down there. And then we can paint that in. All right, great. This is very angular, so I kind of want to like keep that. That's interesting. The highlight here is like the same color as the bike, which I don't know if I like. Continuing this shape down here. I don't think I'll do that. Do we want to do something like that? Might. Alright, let's catch some light on this because it's sticking up. Nope. Let's catch that light over here. we'll save that real quick, and we'll throw some shadows on the ground. Actually, I don't like this zipper. I think that stands out too much. I'm going to get rid of the highlight on it. I wish I had more highlights around here. It's like not enough. We'll put this under the flat layer. This will be our shadow. So this one we will set it to multiply. We'll do a, I don't know if we should do a cool or a warm. Like everything is so, and we're gonna do a soft brush for this one. Everything's so warm here. I don't know which way that means I need to go. Do I need to stay warm or do I need to make it cold? We're gonna have the shadows, we know we wanna have the shadows kinda going away from them because all the light is coming from over there. Okay, cool. All right, this is giving us somewhere to go on this stuff. So, cool. All right, so we're gonna move back to photobashing finally. Took a whole hour coloring her. She looks good though, she looks good. But yeah, we're time to move back to photobashing. So I'm gonna look for things that I see and I'm gonna fix them. So some things I see right away are these areas here. Let's see, this will be, I'll make a new layer here. Let's say dark doors. So it's these areas here that I think need to be darker. See if this works. I don't have my for other layers on, so it can't work. Oh, it's actually, that one didn't work. Almost. Let's do this soft just in case. So if we're not super accurate with it, I don't think that even really matters. Alright, we're going to smooth this. Use our textured blender on this smoke a little bit. Oh. There we go, it's on another layer. Let's blend it. We may even need to add a little more. Alright, we gotta do something with these guys down here. This rubble is nice, but it's lacking some, you know, in fact, let's go back to our dark doors layer. And I think we could color some shadows in here. And we've got like a fire layer that's messing with this a little bit. Now see, what's nice about putting all of our flats for these two guys on the very top is even if we're coloring around here with this stuff, it's not going to mess us up. I've got a fire glow, or I've got some kind of, got this going on top, which looks good, so we don't want to mess up too much of that. These shadows actually look awful. Alright, we got some rubble here. Let's do a layer for them. See if I can get anything. I think we've got something over top of it. Yeah, let's erase some of that. Uh-oh, broke it. There we go. I was daring, I did the same thing again, but I got different results. Alright, that gives us a little, like, kind of two-tone variation here. Oh, broke it. Alright, now we can turn these back on. Now these look like they have dimension and belong. Hey, Dr. Geepray, thanks for joining me. We're filling in more of this. Alright, this is on top of that, so I think maybe if I just erase that, that'll create some natural shadows here. So we got Roz and her bike colored, and that took too long. And now we're refining some of our background. I think I'm gonna put this same texture that's on the ground on the buildings and see how we like that. So let's go. Concrete. Where's concrete? Is it like a subfolder? I'm going, oh, texture. So I'm going crazy. I know I got concrete. Alright, I'll set this to overlay. Let's set that there. And we'll soft erase. This doesn't even look bad over there. I like that. Let's get rid of some of that. grab another one. I don't even really need to perspective warp it. It already looks good. It looks natural. Just don't want any hard edges. And it doesn't need to be at 100%. We'll bend that one a little bit just to cover all of the remaining room here, and lower that opacity. Go ahead and get rid of it where it's not needed. And the great thing is the more you build up your texture, the less exact you need to be with erasing it and blending it together. As long as you don't see hard edges, like it all looks good. You don't want stuff like this, whatever layer this is on, where it's crossing over two shapes. I don't want too much in here because it's supposed to be obscured. I don't really like these like big blotchy splotches because you can lose your sense of scale. This was a close-up of a concrete pillar that I took a photo, and you can make it look like it's a close-up of a concrete pillar and not a giant building, so you want to be careful about that. Go ahead and make this parent one set to overlay, so all my copies will automatically be set to overlay. So we got a lot of these pockmarks here. It could look like, you know, like damage and stuff, but it could also, we'll try it like that. Still blowing up the city. I sure am. Thanks for joining me, Smashy. Yeah, we are blowing up this city. We spent a lot of time coloring Roz on her bike, and now we're finally back to photo bashing. Can't even tell where that ends. That's really nice. All right. I don't need any of this. I might keep that texture for future for that building. I'll have another texture that I put on top of every page that kind of makes everything cohesive. I think this is too much for how far away that is. I think it looks good here. Everything looks very like crunchy and realistic. All right, I'm gonna photo bash that one there. See if I give myself a copy of my skyscraper. Got one there. I probably should just import it fresh. Is the gas panel always going to be a black background? Yeah, I think it is, because I want the focal point to be on her, and I don't really want to, and her expression, I don't really want to busy it up with a background. Sometimes less is more, and you've got to not worry about being, you know, photorealistic with everything, and take some artistic liberty and so you can make it look cool. Where are my city lines? City lines. See if I can automatically grab that. Can I? Kinda. Not really. And where did I put this one? Alright. I think I'll leave that. But I will lower this for a minute so I can see where I need to delete. There we go. I want to get a little texture here, but I don't really want those big pock marks. So if you had to draw that fire yourself, how would you go about doing that? It's a great question. And sometimes I will do some fire myself, and I might do some here, so I can show you. So let me get rid of this first. What I do when I have to do fire, when I have to draw it, is I'll kind of paint in, actually that's fine, I like that. I'll paint in little flecks of light. So let's go all the way to the top for this. Not that, here. So if I've already got something like this in the background, I'll just take a regular pen, make sure pressure sensitivity is on, and then you can do some flecks like this, some little flames, pick some other colors too. You kind of want to do the opposite of what I did and start with your darker colors and then work your way up to the lighter ones. And so you're just gonna paint in little little bits like that. So, something like that, just some little tongues of fire. Always have references like night bedroom. Yes, very important. All right, so I have a problem, and this may be a place where I can utilize that, but I'm just going to use my rough wash brush because it looks so good. So the problem was that the lines here were showing up like on top of the fire, and the fire should be on top, so we're just going to paint in some more. Oh. Let's get rid of that. I don't want that on top of Raws. Forgot I was still on that layer. I need you've got the Butts death counter. I need the Robert was on the wrong layer counter. If anyone wants to volunteer to be my moderator and flag that every time it happens, you are hired. I want to soften some of this. this is cool. All right, what's going on in the background here? Let's cool down this fire glow a little bit. I'm gonna kind of get rid of it in the sky a bit and replace it with my own fire glow, because I think we can do better. It's starting to look crap though. That's too bright. Let's go all the way back. Maybe it wasn't so bad. Yeah, I still think it's... just a little bit. I was like, what was he responding absolutely to? I already forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the counter. Yes. There's this commercial that's been playing. I don't know if any of you others are poor like me and have Spotify not premium, but they're pushing like a pneumonia vaccine. And the commercial goes, the lady's like, I'd rather let's see, I'd rather play catch with my dog than catch pneumococcal pneumonia. Like her intonation changes and everything. It's great. And the fact that like no one says pneumococcal pneumonia, like I didn't even know that was a word. Just the fact that some lady is telling you that she would rather not catch this very specific thing. I just think that's funny. It's a little too much, especially on the edges of these buildings. Spotify poor. I like that. Instead of Spotify Premium, Spotify poor. That looks bad too. It's too dark. That's too bright. Whoa. Cool. I'm liking how this is going. We got to replace the windows on this one. Let's check. Let's see if our default. Let's just try it. We've got it. We'll try it. We'll see if this will work. If not, we'll get a get Shannon to photograph that building that they're building next to her work or something. Not bad. Let's throw some. Hello. Let's throw some guides down here so we can use that as a reference point. Hello. No, what am I transforming? I want this building. So you want to make sure these windows are flat throughout the whole building. That's pretty good. Ripped all your CDs to FLAC and now on a Plex server. That's awesome. Yeah, mine are not FLAC, but I have them on my my media server too. How would you use to rip them to FLAC? It's like really critical these windows are straight because this building is such a focal point. I think they pretty much are though. Something looks wrong about it. It's probably the verticals are wrong. Yeah. Let's see if we can fix that. EAC, exact auto copy. Interesting. Usually if you try to transform a second time, it doesn't work too well. That's not bad. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna try this. We're gonna overlay, get this. We're gonna overlay this burned building onto this building. We're gonna see how that works. Got that there. Make it smaller. Rasterize. Make it even smaller. Multiply layer. Let's see. I think it's too much. It's like just too totally blown out. We don't have any areas that are like kind of like maybe that, but I don't think that's worth it. Oh, exact audio copy. I was thinking that sounds very generic, like a file transfer program. All right, I want to add a little more to this explosion here. So like as you work, you have to work on your image as a whole, because as you work on parts, it will influence the other parts, and you can use that to see what you're missing. That's too dark. This brush is just great for everything. It works for fire too. Especially if it needs like far off explosions and stuff. Now, let's go back up here. On our Fireflex layer, get a really bright one, and let's I should have like a splatter brush somewhere. That might be too fine, but I want some. That's too much. That's maybe what I want. I want like raining ash. Oh. Autosave coming to town. The fire brush, yes, this is the we need the fire brush again. I had to look for one of those. It's either someone's already done it or it's like impossible to do, or else someone would have done it. Yeah, I like these embers. I did that at the end of chapter 1 too, and I really liked how it looked. Are we ready? Hello? Nope. Broken. Oh, what is this, sir, over here that's been neglected? You. What is going on with you? Let's see if that's even gonna work. Nope. How about find our city lines and this? That gonna work? Okay, hold on. I got a plan. Alright, let's try that. Close enough. You know what? We can use our polygon lasso. Okay, let's do a little fire glow on this. Now let's see if we can select that. Bingo. Fire glow. So this is the light casting on hello. I'm still on my scraper brush. D is the shortcut for any airbrush, and I'm used to only using the soft one. But I had a different one selected, so I got confused. Might be too much. I'm gonna soft erase this a little bit. Only just like a little hint of light coming in there. And should we put a little texture there for good measure? I'm always making a copy of that because I'll need it again at some point, so. And right there is good, and we can delete most of this. Hello. Nice. All right. Cool. All right. Since this is pretty much done, let's do our coup d'etat final texture, because Roz is still perfectly clear here and she needs to match with the environment. So this is the texture that I put on everything, is one of these two. And these are from lostandtaken.com. It's got the greatest textures ever. We're gonna put this about like, 20 20%, something like that, and putting that on top of her. We want to get rid of any of these like hard lines or anything like that. Everything pretty much has already like really good texture, but just in case it doesn't, these finish it out for us. Now this is blending into this top panel, and I got to figure out how I'm doing that, because I think I just recently decided that it was not going to be a panel, but it was going to bleed. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. On these lines right on top of her motorcycle, I'm gonna get rid of. There we go. Cool. All right, we'll see how long this takes to save. This is the real clincher here once we start putting these textures on there. See how long it takes. My old house, it took quite long. Let's see how it is here. Keep in mind, we've only colored about half the panels on this page. Here we go, the screen turning black. Never fear, everyone. I look like I'm frozen too, so that's great. This is normal, if you can hear me. Here we go. Not terrible, but that's about the same as what I had in my old place. All right, awesome. We still got like about 30 minutes. Let's see if any of these, if these are ready to color, I might move on here. So why did it take longer at your old house? I don't know. That is a question for someone who knows networking better than I do. Because I had hard wiring at my old house, which I thought would be quicker. But also different city, different internet wiring. I was further from my router, if that makes a difference. It was hardwired, but yeah, I don't know. But also this page isn't finished yet, so we'll see. I'm not hardwired here. I'm seeing how well the wireless works for me, but if it's really terrible, I would definitely get hardwired. However, it's like comparable to where it was with hardwiring, so I definitely don't want to go through the trouble of hardwiring if it's not a big deal with this setup or with the the current Wi-Fi technology. Was everything gigabit at your old place? I think so. It was Cat 6, which was the newest at the time. I was researching all the new Cat 6As, 7s, 8s. I think what I'm looking for is internal network speed, because I'm writing to my network drive. So it's not necessarily like my internet speed, but it's like how fast can my computer save to my network drive. At least I think that's what I'm looking at. There we go. Got a couple sketch layers. I think this is ready to... How many sketch layers I got? I got more sketches. I think this line needs to get... I need to consult with someone who rides motorcycles. Hello. Music I was listening to is turned into like spoken word poetry. I kind of really like it. We saving this to my chill playlist. You have at least 2 routers and a few switches kicking around that are only 100 megabits per second. Uh-oh. Alright, this should be easy because we've got her skin color from this one. So let's see if we can knock out all this. So we have the shadow color. Okay, let's work with shadow colors. I think that's how this whole scene is going to be. Shadow colors, then add the highlights. Oh, I gotta put her skirt texture in here. Let's not forget that. Let's go back here real quick. So I will forget it. Bonus to anyone who knows where I left out her skirt texture in chapter 1. If anyone can answer that for me, I'll give you something free. See if I have any. I don't have it nearby, but I've got some secret free stuff, and you'll be the first one to get it if you could tell me where I did that. What are shadow colors? Don't shadows kind of defeat the purpose of colors? Okay, so when I'm working in a cell shading environment, I'm thinking in terms of like 2 to 3 tones max, because you don't have shading where there's like a gradual change in color. So you've got your like either your regular colors in your highlights or your regular colors in your shadows, or you could do all 3. I usually don't. I'll pick one or the other. So these dark ones are my shadow tones, and then like on the edges where you see it's light, those are my highlights. And so when I'm saying shadow colors, I mean like the darker of the 2. This is going to be up here with the raw stuff. Probably like around here. Rasterize this, set it to multiply. I used to like warp these lines to like match the folds and all that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I might do it here just because it's the opening panel, but also very well might not. No one does that. They're the permission givers. Anyone who does patterns are always flat. Yes, I'm using that as an excuse. But I don't want to take 3 years to release this comic. It's already taken way too long. Let's see, this is what we have to deal with here. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Alright, but we need to hide these 2 layers because they're going to affect our... We gotta hide that skirt we just did too. Ugh. There we go. Oh, we got all kinds of leaks in here. Got some hair in the middle of here. So I know what you're saying, Robert. You said never to color on top of white background. Why are you doing it? It's because I already know what these colors are. I'm grabbing them directly from my other thing, so I'm not really using my eyes to color at this point. I'm just working with colors that I already know are correct. This is the only time that I would recommend coloring like this. Is it like a double line here? What is going on with... Y'all seen that too, right? Something in this background? No. Okay, let's do this. Oh, I think that's just that's the guide here. I thought it was I thought there were 2 lines. Clip, you're making me waste my time. Alright, back to where I were. One advantage of, that's what I was gonna say like 5 minutes ago before that panel line got me all sidetracked. One advantage of coloring on top of white background, it's really easy to see where your colors are leaking through, or where your lack of colors leaking through. That's the only advantage. It's not enough to warrant painting on top of white ever. I'm not coloring these on the line layer because that's gonna limit what I can do. So I'm putting it on the flat layer with all the other flats. Cool. Alright. is a hole, so that's for brown. Smash, you always ask lots of great questions. I want to appreciate you for that. Give me lots of great stuff to talk about. I had fun drawing this panel. I was looking at a slow motion video of someone like shaking their hair. So it's like to do the motion in the hair. I'll shout out again for anyone new here. This is my comic A Radiant Collapse, and I am 5 followers away from affiliate on Twitch. So if you are not following and you would like to give a follow, or if you've got anyone that you want to point to the way of this channel, that would be greatly appreciated because I'm almost there. And I've got the like viewer requirements. All I need is 5 more followers, and bam, I'll have it, and I can make all kinds of fun emotes and stuff for you guys. I don't know why this one did such a bad job of filling everything in. And they probably all do this, and it's just because it's on a white background as I can actually see it. So once we get to coloring stuff like her mouth and all that, we'll switch to a background that's gonna work. See what we can steal from here. So overlay on it, but something like that for the nails. That's too much. Too little. There we go. Don't want it to look like she paints her nails, but I want them to be nails. Oh yeah, helmet's the same color as that. Boop. Boop, boop. It's because I know nothing about art or drawing. Well, that is appreciated. Appreciate that you know nothing. That gives me things to talk about. If anyone in the chat rides motorcycles, tell me what I'm doing wrong. I feel like there needs to be like a visor somewhere. How's that happen? I know I've got an image of a motorcycle helmet somewhere. Kudo, where you get that cool emote? That's awesome. It's like part of it's solid, but then it's got like a glass thing that comes down. Really needs a line like the beaten path here. Something like that. Put on the line layer because I'm awesome. Is it just an open visor in the photo? In the photo, I think it was. You're talking about like this one here. Like this is an open visor, which I think that's what I'm doing. I don't know enough about motorcycle helmets. Like maybe this needs to, let me get rid of all this stuff I colored on the wrong layer. So maybe it needs to be something like, something like that to look like the visor. What y'all think about that? And then we would get rid of oh, it wouldn't matter because I'd just color it black. One of these, really? That look good, Kuda? I'm trying to decide if I want to do a background on these panels. I want this panel to stand out, so I might even change this black background to like a red or something like really dramatic and have black in these panel backgrounds. Wonder how that would look. Let's check that out real quick. Hopefully I made that a separate layer. Oh, I did. I'm so happy with myself. So we can just try this real quick. It's very dramatic. We wouldn't need the glow. We might need it just to soften things. That definitely is like, oh, something's wrong. She looks fire, awesome. No pun intended with all this, right? I'll leave that like crappy drop shadow on here. My mouse has been lagging lately. Just like the past like couple days. I don't know what that's about. I might make that a little more subtle. That's just a little like garish. So we'll try putting just black back here, see how this looks. I don't know. Be easier to tell once we do the proper shading. Took me a bit to figure out that her arms are in front of her instead of more to the side. Here? I mean, it's like, I mean, they're kind of on the side front. This one's maybe a little over too far, or a little like, something's weird about that one. I think this one looks good though. I think we've got a mouth color here. Oh, we sure do. Or am I just seeing things? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, definitely going for like this. So it's kind of like to the side, but like out in front a little bit. Maybe that's what's weird about this one, is it's kind of like a little more back behind. User references. Need someone to take off their helmet at just the right angle. Got a leak somewhere here. All right, well, it is 9. I want to thank all you guys for joining me today. I'll take some time off camera and kind of examine these arms and figure out what's going on with them. But we got some a good bit done. I honestly didn't know if we'd finish this bottom panel, so I was pretty excited about that. I will scroll down eventually and show you guys when this is ready. So this is the point. Once these pages start getting colored and especially textured, it's like this every save. We'll see how bad they get in this house. But yeah, we finished that whole bottom panel. I was pretty excited for that. I didn't know how far we'd get on that. I didn't know how much more photo bashing we would need to do. So let's click up here and take a look at that. But I'm pretty happy with how that looks. I really like it. I think it's done. So yeah, that's awesome. I like that. And then we got just a few minutes of coloring on here, so it won't be too long to finish that out. We've got this. That red is really making this panel stand out, so we've got to decide if we want that or not, because your eye definitely goes to that on the whole page. And if we want this to stand out, this is more muted colors. So yeah, we'll have to think about that. Awesome, thanks. Well, we are gonna find someone to raid. Let's see who is on. Pre-gamers were gonna be streaming tonight. Let me see if he's already on. I don't think so yet. Okay, we're going to raid this person. We raided them last time, and they were working on a cool Zelda art, and so we're gonna see if they're finishing up with that. But yeah, so anyone who wants to get a copy of issue 1, it is available now at irradiantcollapse.com. You can follow me on all my other socials at irradiantcollapse. But yeah, I'll see you guys next Monday. Thank you guys for hanging out. And we are getting ready to launch off on this raid. All right, see you guys later.